If you have not become a patron of the Geocache Talk Network, what are you waiting for? Patron levels start as low as a Bison Tube level at $3 a month. To sign up is easy. Simply go to the Geocache Talk website and click on the Become a Patron button, or go to patreon.com/Geocache Talk. Patrons now get the famous Blackout coin, invites to special events, and other really great items throughout the year. Become a patron today. Have you subscribed to FTF Magazine yet? FTF Magazine is the #1 geocaching magazine available. It is a quarterly magazine that you can be part of. Submit your geocaching milestones and adventures to be published. FTF Magazine is also interactive with puzzles to solve and the hunt to find Spartacus. If you can solve the puzzle or find Spartacus, then you will be entered in to win a special pack tag. Every new subscription, you will receive a special swag pack. Subscribing is easy. Just visit FTF's website, ftfgeo.com. Don't miss out and subscribe today.
Logwork, the creators of the fantastic logbook, made with genuine Write in the Rain paper. The logbook's designed for the micro containers of the present and future, geared towards the hider who'd rather go caching than doing cache maintenance. Find them at logwork.com. That's LOGWERK.com.
Hello, and welcome to Challenge Talk, part of the Geocache Talk Network. You can watch the show live on the second Tuesday of each month, and feel free to jump over to YouTube, Facebook, or X to watch the broadcast and join the wonderful and active chat room, or listen to the entire show later on your favorite podcast player or YouTube.
So for tonight's show, we're going to take a look at something called Gridbusting with the CheekyBrit from Idaho.
Right. We've got CheekyBrit
There
with us. Hey, Matt, glad to have you with us tonight. We also have prizes to give away each show to our listeners. Between each show, be sure to email your challenge cache finds to challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com, and you could be a winner.
Later on in the show, we're going to play our special game exclusively for the live audience, the Wheel of Challenges. So listen live. Get your email app ready and follow the instructions when time comes so you can have a chance at winning tonight's grand prize.
And at the end of the show, we'll highlight some of the challenge caches you found, and someone will win our monthly giveaway. So we are your hosts, Emily and Tim, along with special guest CheekyBrit or Matt, and welcome.
Thanks.
So,
Emily,
Tim,
you just
got back from going caching.
Right? Yeah, so
yes,
tell us about
I'm
it.
tired.
How was it?
But it was fabulous. So my mom and I went to going caching, but before going caching started, we were on the road for about 6 days. It was a very interesting trip because we flew in right before the hurricane, and we had to be careful. We had to shift our plans, but I mean, it was still fine. We are well. Unfortunately, I did not get triple Jasmer on this trip because the beaver cache that I needed was disabled while we were still on the plane. So gotta go back someday for that one. I already have my plan made for what I want to do. So, but you know what? It was still a fabulous trip. Going caching was fabulous. I got to see so many of our listeners. We had a Geocache Talk Network patron breakfast and saw you guys all week long, rubbing shoulders in downtown Rome, out on the trails, at the events. My heart is full with seeing all my geocaching friends. So thank you all who I saw and had a good experience with. And I want to say a neat challenge that I heard about from Hiking Seal while we were chatting at, I'm going to get the name wrong. You guys in the chat, you might have to tell me. The Creamery, where we go for one of the going caching vaults that we had to break into. Oh, maybe I'll tell you guys about that real quick. Going caching always has a really unique coin. This thing is so heavy. I've heard on Facebook that so many of us had TSA checking our bags because of this hunk of metal.
Wow.
On the back of this, you can see kind of this star thing. It pops out. We needed to use this star to open 3D printed vaults. The star had info. We were solving puzzles on how to find the vaults, how to get in the vaults, how to use this to open the vaults, which vault went with which puzzle. I love going caching. If you know, you know. So there's a path tag that was magnetic to the star. The path tag was a part of the puzzle. You guys, it was so amazing. So anyways, while we were at the Creamery, I was talking to Hiking Seal, and she was telling me about a neat challenge that she achieved. I believe it's about a year ago now, but it was so awesome that I wanted to tell everyone. She was first to find on the Utah Virtual Challenge, and she was first to find 14 years after this was placed. So the challenge was to find all the virtual caches in Utah published before 2017, and she found it in 2023, first to find. So just a big congratulations about that one. Yeah, there we go. And we'll link that in the show notes. GC 1P2N3. And you can read her notes on there. And it's just a really interesting thing. So big shout out to Hiking Seal. It's a little late, but I was glad she told me about that so we can give her some recognition.
Yeah, 34 write notes and 1 find it. One did not find it. Uh-oh. Oh, well.
Yeah, so there you go. So how about you, Tim? How was your month?
It's been a really kind of a slow month. September is when I teach my scuba class, and we did have 14 students this year. I did manage to find 127 caches.
That's still amazing.
Which that is my lowest find count since 2020.
Wow.
It dropped me below 300 finds per month average. So it's been a slow month, but I gotta say I'm involved in Geo Woodstock, and as an ambassador, Geo Woodstock has some really cool things coming out. I always forget which ones I can talk about and which ones I can't, but
so you better be careful.
I know. What I can talk about is that registration for the event will open up this Friday, October the 11th. And between the 11th, when it opens at 5 p.m., and 5 p.m. on Sunday, if you are one of the first people to put in your registration package, you'll be entered to win a weekend stay in Morgantown. So they've got a contest going on. So
cool.
If you're a VIP, if you often like the VIP packages, the VIP packages are going to filter into the side events this year. So there'll be like extra parking things or extra things for you to do. So it really looks cool. And the event coin looks like the Geo Woodstock logo, only with signal on a zip line.
Ooh.
So it should be a really interesting coin.
Cool.
And the other event that I'm working on is something we call Camp MyGo for 2025. And that'll be in August of next year. I'm one of the co-chairs on that event. And we are only 40 will attends away from mega status.
Oh, awesome. You guys will hit.
Yeah,
no problem.
Really excited. We're working with Chris Mackey. So we're going to have a ton of coins that he is helping to design. So if you know Chris as a designer, he's awesome. We're going to have some very fantastic coins. So that's kind of my month. I feel kind of like the little red hen, who will help me make this mega. And right now it's a lot of me.
All right. So Tim's community, step up, help Tim make a great MyGo camping event. Oh, I said camping. I don't know if it's camping.
It is camping.
Okay,
we'll have
Camp
camping.
MyGo. There we go.
Our
Yeah.
ambassadors for the event are camp counselors. So
That's so
they're going to
fun.
lead the panty raids and everything else like that.
Very fun. Cool. So step up to be a Camp MyGo counselor.
So let's spend a minute and again re-welcome the Cheeky Brit, Matt. So who are you? Why are you here? Tell us about how you got started into geocaching. What do you like for challenges? All the above.
Born in England in the southeast where the Vikings invaded and came to America 13 years ago. Got my bachelor's degree, and after getting married, she wouldn't move back to England. She wanted me to move here. We were hanging around in England on one of the trips where I was like, hey, you should immigrate instead of me. We discovered this little game called geocaching. I had found a few when friends had taken me, and I just caught the bug then. And
all right.
I've had a streak going pretty much ever since for 5 years.
A 5-year streak?
Wow.
Daily streak.
Geocaching. I've had clothes on, but geocaching streak, yes. Yeah.
Thank you for wearing clothes for our show
means
tonight.
something different in England than it does in the U.S. So.
I've got to clarify these things. And very early on, probably about within the first 3 months, I discovered there was this thing called a challenge geocache. There was one or two, a few towns over, which in Idaho is quite a distance. And I just thought that was the coolest thing. And so I started hiding some of my own. I made an interactive geo art of challenges where to find the bonus, you have to toggle the filters of difficulty, size, terrain, and such. And it changes what the geo art looks like as the numbers reading out the coordinates.
It changes from one art into another art?
Like when you have a scoreboard in basketball, the number 4, 6, 8 will flash up and read you the coordinate as you toggle the filters. So
wow.
I'm mad for
You're
mad
blowing
for
our
challenges.
minds already. Everyone stay tuned. The things Matt is going to bring us tonight is just wow. Your brain. And you're a nuclear something, so no wonder.
I used to be an outdoor
physicist.
I used to be a rock climbing instructor for the city. And so I have every rock climbing height in Pocatello is by me, and it gets found by people who I belay. I don't think any of mine have been found without me.
Without
You're welcome
you,
to. Yeah. I list the gear you would need, but everyone just uses me. But no,
right.
I switched from that because there's only peanuts in such a fun job. So now I'm a rad tech. I swing the machine that goes beep, 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 beep.
Okay, there you go.
Well, we all have to earn a living somehow.
Yeah,
gotta pay for
sounds like
geocaching because geocaching really is not free.
Most expensive free hobby there is.
I think so.
Yeah.
All right. So before we move into our topic tonight, I do have to cover our challenge statistics for this month.
Yeah, because we had a question about that, right?
Yeah, we did. So we moved up to 43,150. We ended on an even number. Worldwide challenge caches. That's an increase of 270 over last month. The USA is still ahead with 17,180. Germany, Canada, Norway, France. Sorry, UK's not on that list. For our worldwide leaders. Now, the big thing is the California, Texas. California is now 13 ahead of Texas for number 1 versus number 2. And Michigan is only 12 challenge caches behind number 3, Florida. There's a pretty big gap between 2 and 3, so I don't think either us or Florida is going to overtake whoever overtakes California or Texas, but we need to keep moving them. We need to keep moving. The question last month was, there is a still is, there's a challenge trail in Morgantown, West Virginia, that they released for Geo Woodstock. And the question got asked, what did that do to their stats? Well, they moved up 3 states in the list, but they are now number 36.
All right.
They got a long way to go, but
it helped. It helped.
It helped.
That's good.
Every little bit helped.
That's good.
So that's our stat presentation for tonight. So now
Let's
we can get into our topic.
More stat things.
So Matt, when you sent this thing in, and it's a spreadsheet, it's a program, it's a I don't know what to call it, but it looked fascinating, and we thought it would make an interesting show. So tell us about it.
Certainly. Well, this springs off of a conversation from episode 46 when the legendary Memphis Mafia mentioned post-moratorium, people were complaining that there'd be no options to make any new challenges. Mm-hmm. And he said, well, actually, we've had, what was his words? Come on, there's more creative stuff that's come out now than beforehand. Every time the rules change, people are like, that's the end of it. It'll never go anymore. And that's more stuff come out now than ever did before. And I think it's great. So
amazing quote.
Yeah.
He gives some great quotes. This show in general. So off of that, I was thinking, what have we got in terms of ideas for creating our own? So there was Unchallenged in episode 11. That one was cool. Challenges you simply are forbidden from doing yourselves. You can have an unchallenge. Hear more about that, episode 11, worth a listen. But in 42, you two covered if you have finished your Jasma, well, here are some Jasma spin-offs, or the CheekyBrit difficulty terrain. What other ways can you put a spin on that one? And putting a spin on that was the birth of this.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I really wanted to be able to come up with new challenges. Don't get me wrong. I love it when I find 100 geocaches. Again, yeah, great challenge. I love it. I love it more when it's something new. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm not very good at coming up with new stuff. In fact, I think there's only one person who could come up with endless challenge ideas.
And his name is John Cena!
Unfortunately, I'm not John Cena. I need to come up with my manufacturing it. So I created the Challenge Builder 200 and the Gridbuster 4000. Just a way to combine attributes and come up with stuff because I can't create it myself. Should we dive into it?
The challenge, I'm sorry, I already forgot it. The challenge what? 200?
The Challenge Builder 200. It's like a Venn diagram.
200. Okay.
Yeah. Or the Gridbuster 4000.
I think I can always remember that. That's amazing. Gridbuster 4000.
All right, gotta know more. More.
Yes, tell us more.
It definitely beat the previous name of Steve. Steve wasn't a good name.
Wasn't it Hal?
Right.
That was Hal.
Oh yeah, we called it Hal.
Oh, okay.
All right, here it comes.
All right.
So
Matt's that's all right. Matt's pulling that up for our audio listeners. We're getting
all right. So yeah, we're gonna add it to the stage. So we now have a screen of groups.
Ooh, yes. So this is akin to when you see the old Shakespeare insult creator. It'll be a list of things on page 1, page 2, page 3. You pick one of each and you come up with like the painted mad-headed lubber, or the revolted glass-guzzling madwig. Yeah, that idea. Let's take it to challenging. Here you have a non-exhaustive list of the options I could come up with. So in color categories, you've got difficulty in terrain, so like CheekyBrit. It could be specific terrains, specific difficulties, at least X different difficulties or terrains, any single difficulty terrain, all terrains, all difficulties, X different difficulty terrains, all the different combinations. I've done that for that, locations, date hidden, found dates, sizes, elevation, quantity, type, and attributes.
Cool.
It's
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just derailed our CheekyBrit because K-Blast said that he's going to totally make a challenge cache called Steve. And there are more people
Yes!
in the chat saying, yes, do it. It's good.
And also already, Matt, Houston, Texas, Dave says, my challenge brain just exploded. So you're doing your job, Matt. Keep talking. What else
There
we
you
got?
go.
Keep
So
going, keep going.
it is a little bit hard to read on the screen, and so
It
describing it,
is.
along with the people who can't read it quite so well, there's found dates, there's elevation, types, attributes, sizes, and there's all kinds of categories underneath those, or elements underneath the categories. So how do we put them together?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked, Tim. We would want some sort of Venn diagram. So here's a basic one. For those who are listening, this will be on the show notes so you can see everything you've got here. Steal anything of mine, take it. I'm British, I deserve it. So here's a Venn diagram with 2 circles. No big deal. We want more. Let's imagine 3 circles. Not too bad. How about 4?
Oh my goodness.
No. Let's go 5. 5 intersecting pear shapes. That's spicy enough. Yes, please. And this is the start of the Challenge Builder 200. So each of our different sets of categories we've got on the right, ready to apply. We've only got 5 spots, and we've got more than that, 9. So I'm just going to throw in date hidden on one of those pear shapes, type, difficulty terrain, location, and size. You put those there, and you can imagine combining, say we wanted something that was a mixture of type and size. What would a challenge like that look like? Oh, glad you asked. It would look like this. So this is one that I built, and it's the Gridbuster size type times 40 challenge. And you need to find at least 40 combinations of type and size.
So as I look to the left-hand side of the screen, we've got traditional, unknown, multi, virtuals, letterbox, and then across the top is micro, small, regular, large, other, virtual, not chosen. So you don't have a traditional cache with a virtual size on it. Is that right? Am I reading that right?
That's correct. But I should have one by the end of the year.
Oh, really? There is such a thing?
There is one in Idaho, in the middle of nowhere. It's going to be good.
All right.
So for each of these ones you see here, there is a challenge I've either built or I've found. I think it's so cool. Like, Emily, pick 2 that we should add together. See what we got.
Well, the problem is I can't read it.
Oh, that's right.
My screen is a little too small for me on this platform.
So, but there's a date hidden and a type. Right?
Let's see what that looks like. So that would be the 500 hidden challenge based on the year, month, and type. Whew. So this one is one over in Alberta, Canada by Roly Poly Oly. I haven't found this one yet. It's on my list if I ever travel there.
So what you're doing here is clicking on the diagram. Did you input this cache into the diagram?
I did. So
okay. So you already ran the search and input the result.
Yes. So this was, you can use an empty one of these Venn diagrams to come up with an idea if you're struggling for what to do. You could just mix some of these. If you want to mix more than just 2, if you want to mix a bunch of them, date hidden, location, size, who knows? It'll help kind of see what you have and haven't done. These are just ones that I found if you want to see examples of what you could do.
Okay, great. And we had someone asking, where are your hides located?
Pocatello, Idaho. Look for the giant UK flag geo art, and you're pretty close.
That should be easy to remember then.
Yeah. So there's one in the middle. It's not an amazing one, but it does include all 5. The oddly specific challenge. For those listening, there's a specific square on the fizzy grid you need to get. The 1.5 difficulty, 3.5 terrain, Type traditional, size non-micro or small, placed on September, within any year, and within Idaho. So it's all 5 of those
GC
categories.
code is what? GCA?
AG6BD.
Okay. GCA6BD.
And it tells you there's only 5 of those in the world. It just so happens you hiked past one of them to get to this challenge. And it's like the second oldest in Idaho.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So you hid, this is your challenge cache and your oddly specific cache that you hid.
Actually, that's my partner in Challenge Crime, Ladder Guy.
Okay.
He has so many. I still need to find that one. I haven't found it yet.
So should our audience take a trip to Pocatello? Is that what you're saying as well?
It's possible. Who are we kidding? You need to take a trip to absolutely everywhere. Challenges are a global phenomenon.
Challenge accepted. I mean,
yeah, really.
But this is only the Challenge Builder 200. So if you want, I've also included, here's a level 6 Venn diagram I made, 7 and 8, in case you want to use this tool to come up with more ideas.
Wow.
Yeah, much past 5, it doesn't get useful. Like, this is absurd. How do you use this? Which is why we have something else.
There's more? Wait.
The Gridbuster 4000.
The Gridbuster 4000.
So, big old spreadsheet. This is the icon at the start of the video. On the left, I've taken a bunch of those categories we saw at the start. Count, size, type, calendar 365 found, calendar 365 hidden, month found, Jasma hidden, the difficulty, terrain, the fizzy, counties, states. It goes on. There's a bunch. Those are all categories that have subdivisions within. There's loads of counties. There's 9 difficulties. Then along the top, you've got the same thing, but it carries on with specifics like large, regular, small, just specific sizes, specific types.
Holy shnikes. So this is a
Wow.
spreadsheet. And you've got GC codes in there?
I have indeed. There are green squares highlighted. If it's dark green, they're around Pocatello. Hey. Light green are somewhere else. And just to give you an idea of what is out there, if you like something, as long as it's not within your local area, most reviewers are okay an identical challenge being made or even tweaked to match your local audience, whether they're more or less hardcore. Or you could find something that has, to my knowledge, never been done and blaze a new trail.
Which would be the
always
white
exciting to do.
Yes, indeed. There are also gray squares. I don't think you can do those. So a challenge that is both an event and different type, and different sizes. We're kind of locked into one size for events.
Right. True. I see what you're saying. So not all possibilities. Jen of B&J Bish says, I'm a sucker for a good spreadsheet. So I'm glad this is exciting for some of our audience. And Jim says, I'll be trying to wrap my brain around this concept for days now. Jim, I totally agree. I'm going to have to go back later, look at this on a size that I can absorb with my own eyes. And really try to wrap my brain around what you're telling us by clicking around and playing with this.
So every one of these has a link to that challenge. So, let's pick one. How about type counties? Why not? So type counties. So that could be a bunch of different, we had many things in the list of types and different counties. It could be a specific type in a specific county, but in this one I did just open field. On the left is all of the counties you have ever found. So for me, Ada County, Adams, Alameda, Allen, Anoka. And along the top, it has all the different types. Traditional, multi, unknown. And you have to try and get 200 combinations. So that's the type county challenge.
Right.
Holy smolies. Well, and really for the benefit of our entire audience, Matt sent this to us in February of 2024
This is
and
true.
said, here's an idea for a show. And I was confused back then over what the heck we're looking at. I'm still confused at what we're really looking at. But
we're glad you're here to explain it for yourself, and this wasn't our job.
I'm also confused by this. This is a tool that I use to wrap my head around stuff. So there's some confusing terms in here. Like one of them is calendar hidden streak. Does that mean much to you guys?
Well, I mean, I could suppose, but am I right? So hidden streak, you're being very specific about finding a consecutive date of when it was hidden.
Yes.
Finding a January 1st cache, then a January 2nd cache, then a January 3rd cache.
You hit the nail on the head, and I love how you omitted the year. How do you know to do that, Emily? By doing that, somehow it fits within a way for us to still have streaks when we're not supposed to have streaks with conditions. Hidden streaks, those are fair game.
That's a really good angle. So would this be required on January 1st? You find a January 1st cache from any year?
Oh, you're going another level. That would be mixing date found with date hidden. And I wonder if we have such a thing. Sorry, month found and month hidden. That we have. I just need to find it. There's too many. Jasmine hidden, Jasmine found. I get lost in this thing. Month hidden calendar.
You can. And
truly.
So while you're looking that up, I mean, Joe McRae sent in and says, "Isn't this like the birthday challenge?" Well, that particular challenge is to find a cache on a date that it was hidden. That would be the cache birthday.
So I could, starting July 22nd, find a January 1st, and July 23rd, find a January 2nd. Is that what would make that a streak?
You've invented a whole new challenge. Oh boy.
So my understanding is just way too, I don't know what to say.
You are too next level. You're beyond us, Emily. We can't keep up.
I'm going to stop. I'm going to pull way back.
So an example of that, I've got here one that I hid. It's to find a geocache of hidden every month that was found every month. So during January, can I find a geocache hidden all the different months? So I found this one, 4XE6Q, in January of any year, and it was hidden January any year. That's kind of what you're thinking. Yeah. Just the straight up hidden sequence. Doesn't matter which order I find them. I can find all in one day or spread out across 20 years.
Okay.
Put the hidden dates together, and you've got it. So if you fill your hidden calendar, you've automatically got a 366 streak hidden.
Gotcha.
So to speak.
Okay.
Took me a while to explain, but we got there.
No, that's right. That's all right. It really it does show how the wording of some of these can be either super clear or not. And even when we get our submissions for our monthly challenges, I'll read a title and think I know what the challenge is going to be about and be wrong, or I can't figure out what this challenge is about just by the title.
Right. And just because something fills one of these squares doesn't mean you get it. So one example I had, the diagonal line where the two things meet. So instead of size versus type or size versus month found, it's just size versus size. Those are quantity of a criteria with a numerical twist. So here, for example, is 4 different ones of the Jasma hidden. So sure, you can just fill your Jasma, or you can have 2 of every Jasma. We're looking at you, Emily. You're almost there, right? Or was that Tim?
You're 1 away.
Almost. Oh, painful. So painful.
1 away from triple. I don't know. Yeah.
You've already got your double.
Here's one someone put out of you've got to find 10 caches in 2000, 20 in 2001, 30 in 2002. So it's not just straight numbers. It's a bit of a numerical twist to it. Or the twisted Jasma someone did, where it takes me a moment to find the rules. You need to find all of those, but it cannot have June 2000 from Idaho. There's an extra funkiness to it. Or this one, yeah. There's a bunch of different ones, like different ways to interpret the same combination. Or a great one, Fibonacci Jasma. You need to have found 2 caches placed in 2003 in 2001, 5 2002, 8 2003. So
I like that.
That's a simple square, just Jasma hidden against itself. But there's so many challenges you could do. Go out there and invent something the world's never seen.
And then hopefully people copy you in their areas too, and that type will get inspired in multiple places.
Oh, absolutely. What I really like about this is these are things that are pretty much okay and approved to go with each other, provided you find your 10 locals, you qualify yourself, and it's a reasonable, can be explained fairly well. I have only, of the many, many challenges that were not permitted that I've built, one was not. And that was attributes versus attributes. So finding
versus
yeah.
Okay, so to find a combination of attributes?
Yes. So can you find, if I find a geocache that has tree climbing, scenic view, and stealth, there's 3 pairings there.
Yeah.
Because I found a cache that has tree and stealth, tree and view, stealth and view. Can you find all of them? I'm going to zoom out on this so those viewing can see it. Here's a checker that, here's a checker that was made.
Wow, that is crazy. One heck of a checker.
This is where I really wish I were listening, because there's no way to describe this for our listeners, and our watchers can only see green and red. That's all 69 attributes, right? Or 82 attributes?
It's all the positive and all the negative attributes listed along the top and along the side, and then looking at where they mix together. So the bottom left triangle is ignored because you've already had that mix. So, for example, I've never found a geocache that had access fee and scuba. Shame on me. Nor have I found one with wading and an access fee.
You know, actually, I heard a rumor that if you make it to Cache Fest in Hawaii this year, there is very possibly an event that will be scuba with an access fee.
Oh my goodness.
You could get that.
And it would help you to do a challenge that cannot be published.
Go you. We could get the event that had that combination. Whether it's permissible or not, that's beside the point. You can at least cover that square.
We've had so many.
Amazing. So Matt, they can click on that link. That brought up the challenge checker.
Yes. So this here brought up that checker. Each of these will take you to a cache page, and all of them have checkers. So, yes, here's that one there. This is also a few weeks ago, few months, you covered tools in the checker, and it was a database of static checkers of all sorts. This was one of them.
Oh, okay.
And it looks like this.
It figures that someone would create that. You know, those the checker writers, they always need practice, and they're always looking to do different things. So
there it is. Pairs of attributes in the others category in tools in the checker system from one of our previous episodes. Madness.
That is absolutely amazing. So you use this for finding challenges, you use this for building challenges, yes?
Both. So my goal is to fill in every one of these empty white spots, either by finding one that exists or building it myself, or seeing if I can get my friends to build them so I can find it.
You
So
can go
you
find.
can go find them. Yes, very good.
Well, we will have to do that. And K-Blast, I hope you do. He's getting some ideas for Steve.
Oh, hello. I need to stop presenting. There we are.
There we go. Welcome back.
Wow, Matt, that was amazing.
And how long did it
So-
take you to come up with this?
Right. I kind of have a similar question.
Longer than it should have. A smart person would do it quicker.
So is this how you spend your I'm not out on the trail, but I want to geocache spare time?
Absolutely.
Trying to fill in this grid. All right. And so since we have the links to that, as you make progress, are we going to see more filled in if we keep using this same link?
Absolutely. I'm just going to
Okay.
keep building and updating. And what's fun is a lot of the ones around Pocatello are called Gridbuster challenges.
Okay.
And this is because there'll be a grid, one thing against another, and you try and bust that grid by filling it out. I'm trying to bust the grid buster.
Whoa.
All right. That's amazing.
I don't know if
Wow,
I-
Matt. Wow. I think a lot of us are going to be trying to redigest this a few times to wrap our brains around it.
Yeah. I don't feel like I came up with it. I stumbled upon it. It landed in my lap, and I've had many sleepless nights, and I pass the baton to you. Sleepless nights for everyone else. Enjoy.
Appreciate that, boy. And
Thank
you know,
you.
everything. Thank you for bringing it to our attention. Thank you for being able to come on the show and talk about it. I think only you could do that, but there's no
Absolutely.
way we would do anything else. So that's cool.
Wow.
The chat is a buzz. The chat went with things, but Emily, I think it's time.
Hi, I'm Fox and the Hound, actual name Chris Mackey. I'm from Carbondale, Pennsylvania, and it's time for the Wheel of Challenges.
What
do you think?
I'm ready for the Wheel of Challenges. So get your email apps ready, and our game is to select one live viewer each month to face off against the wheel to have a chance to win the grand prize of a 1-year Project GC membership. We do ask you that you limit yourself to 3 wins, and to enter, let's pull up our question. I'm scrolling through trying to find our question. It's a live show, right? So here we go. Email ChallengeTalkPodcast@gmail.com with the subject "Spin Me" and your geocaching username in brackets with your answer to this question. What is the name of one of Matt's tools? So we have two
Matt, you're not eligible to
possible
enter. I'm sorry. You can't play this month.
Hands away from the keyboard.
All right. So we have 2 possible correct answers. I'm going to pop on over to our email to see who answers correctly first.
All right, and I'm going to bring up the Wheel of Challenges. This is our new and improved. We've used it one time before, so hopefully we'll see some new challenges come through.
All right.
I realize one of the answers is on the screen still. Wait, it was on the screen for the whole time.
Oh.
That's great. That's great. All right. So our first correct person to answer is Cache Addict Mel with the answer of the Gridbuster 4000. That is such a memorable name. That's the one I would have remembered too.
Yeah, and the other one was the Builder Cache
Challenge Builder 200.
Challenge Builder 200. Yeah.
That's the one.
Got it.
All
All right. Well,
right.
let's spin the wheel. See what we get for Mel. 3. 3.
All right, we landed on 3. Oh, this is always a fun one.
Yeah.
The Electoral College Majority Challenge, GC 8C 5KW.
I like that. And this is in honor of our upcoming election. You have to find enough caches to get to 270 electoral votes. So let's bring this up. And
while you're doing that, shout out to Mel. She's my cross-country Broadway series buddy. She's always going to her season. I'm going to my season. We're comparing notes. And in Rome, we got to go to the theater together. We sat in the same row. We got our picture with the show banner. It was kind of a little fun side note dream come true for me. So Mel, that was a lot of fun.
Ooh,
thank you.
That was. Okay, so I got to get, what I usually do is I got to go back to the screen and figure out how to get her in there. Okay, so I've got that. She's in. Let's run the checker.
Yay! Yay! She qualifies.
Yeah. So actually, there are 538 votes that you could collect, and she collected 380.
All right.
And of those 538, so she more than qualifies for our challenge.
So congratulations. We'll get that prize sent your way.
Whee.
All right. And also our other game of the night is for our monthly challengers. Every month we give a congratulatory shout out to listeners who email us proof of qualifying and logging a challenge cache since the last show. So anyone who sends in an email to ChallengeTalkPodcast@gmail.com with the GC code and a photo if you'd like to share will be entered into our prize giveaway for a Challenge Talk path tag. And here are a few of the interesting challenges we heard about from our listeners this month.
So our first one was sent in by Team Tailwagger, and it is GCANFE1. And the challenge, pretty simple challenge. You only have to find 1,000 traditional caches.
You know what? I'm going to say that's even more simple these days than when I finally got to 1,000. That was a steep climb, but I think Adventure Labs has probably changed that these days. What do you think?
No, but an Adventure Lab is not a traditional. So that would not qualify.
Oh,
so
this
is 1,000 traditional.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, bringing the difficulty back. I'm glad you pointed that out. I just got carried away. Well, good.
Earning those 4 stars.
Yep. 4
All
stars.
right. That's right. Our next one was submitted by Massnut. This is GCAFWF3. Incontinence challenge. All right. What is this about? I can't read that, Tim. What's this one?
So you have to find a cache with public restroom nearby attribute in a minimum of 7 countries. And in addition, you must have found, no, it says countries.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and
it
in
does
addition,
say
you must have found
challenge.
at least 300 caches with the attribute. So you need public restrooms nearby and 300 of those in 7 countries.
What is this rated?
This is a 70.
70? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How interesting.
So and there's a specific note that says this challenge does comply with the 2016 Challenge Cache guidelines. And they even have a link to the new guidelines here. So
yeah.
Wow. But it's a difficulty 5. And Massnut found it. They said it was a cute LPC. Yeah, there you go.
Here's a picture of the outside of the container. It's bog roll, but the B in bog is crossed out, replaced with an L for log roll. And then inside, it's a Lego worker beside a toilet. And the roll of toilet paper they're holding is the log roll for signing your name. So very, very cute.
And they even mentioned that there was a working title for needing a wee at GZ.
How fun. How fun.
Yeah, that one has 10 favorite points too. So that's a good one.
That is good.
Our next one was sent in by Bloody Cool. Another challenge addict. And this cache was also placed by Sims Quest, one of our other
Oh, fun.
funds
Crossover,
in Maryland.
yeah.
And this is an interesting one because it's called the Capital Challenge. So you have to find 15 caches in 15 counties that have a state capitol building in it. So it's going to be 15
Okay.
states in 15 counties and 15 caches. You can get any kind of cache. And where the last one was a difficulty 70, this is a difficulty 74.
Ooh.
So well done.
Yeah, so it's not just an average visit 15 states cache. You have to be honed in on that capital county. Very good.
Correct. Yeah.
I like that. All right, this next one sent in by Sims Quest, who just did the last one. This is GCADMRM Gilby Challenge Series, the Wood Chipper. Oh, right, that's great. And this is a 4 attributes type challenge. So it sounds like SimQuest maybe made a trip out to Gilby Gone Wild. And what are those attributes that it's looking for?
So you have to find 10 caches that have the available in winter attribute. 10 caches with the dangerous area attribute.
All right.
10 caches with takes less than 1 hour attribute. And 1 cache with a special tool required.
Special tool required, wood chipper.
So a 41 difficulty. It's
How
rated
fun.
a 3-2 out there in Gilby, placed by the Gilby Hype Girls.
That's great.
And I think she did say that she was out there for an event.
Good.
Our next one comes from Roadie Guy. And Roadie Guy sent in the 10-year challenge. It is GC42F69. And this one is you have to find 10 years worth of cache hides. So this is kind of a mini Jasmer, but you need 10 consecutive years. So you can go anywhere
consecutive
from
years.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of a twist.
Consecutive years. So a little bit different twist on
very good
one of our Jasmer challenges.
Right. I like that. And then this one was sent in by B&J Bish, GCAYTWY, going caching for a mega challenge to attend 10 or more mega events. And this one's cool because I found this one too this weekend, and I'm sure many of you who are listening found this challenge cache if you went to going caching. So for me, this was my going caching this year was my 10th mega, so it just qualified me for this challenge. For Brad and Jen, they had just a few more than 10. So a lot of people were signing or logging that challenge this weekend collectively. Again, a shared experience.
Yeah,
I really
there were a lot of
that.
people at going caching, were there not?
Yeah, there were plenty of people there. Yeah, so that was a neat one to share for all of us who did that one. And that one was right by where Brad and Jen were staying in Rome. So that's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah, they mentioned that when they sent it in.
Yeah, but they weren't at the hotel.
Yeah,
they weren't at the hotel when it published, so they didn't get the first to find. Oh, well.
Okay, yep, and it's coming up in the chat. A lot of people did find that one.
Very good, very good.
So this month, we also want to recognize Acorn Mama, Rem Man, and this CheekyBrit guy that for sending in challenges. So we
and a lot more.
Yeah, we appreciate all of the challenges you guys send in. It helps the show. We get to see some of the things that are out there. And again, before we had the Gridbuster 4000, we had to figure out some of these things all on our own.
I'll be excited. If you guys start to use the Gridbuster 4000 and get inspired, let us know. Matt would love to hear about it. We would love to hear about it. So when you wrap your heads around it, give us some feedback around that.
All right. And we have a winner, do we not?
We do. So remember to enter for next month for a chance to win. Send in your email before next month's show. But this month's winner is Maths Nut. So congratulations. We'll be in touch. Yeah. All right. Well, Matt, anything else to say about your caching inspiration and your grids?
Actually, yes.
All right.
Just off the fantastic myriad we had before us just now. We had AF9ZW to find a geocache in 15 different states. Where would that look on the Gridbuster 4000? Well, that, if you're trying to get an idea of have I found one of every type, these are just the ones I've hidden or like identified. That would be under counties and count, like just quantity.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're looking at the Challenge Builder 200 with all the detailed lists, the type it would be, I'd say that's X of specific counties, because you can imagine it's a list of 50 or 51 counties that are the state counties out there. Find 10 of these 50. So yeah, that is the same style as, spoiler alert for a future episode, the Big Sky Challenge series.
We have
right,
kind of
very
heard a
good.
little bit about that.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for bringing a new way of thinking about things to us. I know sometimes I feel really stumped on how do I come up with something creative. So thanks for the new tool that you've put into all of our hands. Thank you for sharing those documents with all of us.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing how we can put that into play. I know I was very creative with the challenges that I recently put out. It was, can I find them somewhere else and bring them to Michigan? You know, it was not a lot of creativity in it, but they were challenges that folks in the area had not seen. And now I have a new tool to actually be more creative. So I'm excited. So yeah, and again, thank you so much for doing that. And next show?
Yeah, the next show is the second Tuesday of November, the 12th. And for tonight's show, and again, all of these caches we've referenced, the Grid Builder 4000, etc. The show notes will be posted shortly after the show airs, both in the video description and linked in the podcast description.
And I know you had a whole bunch of fun at going caching with people coming up to you with the secret phrase. Well,
that's right.
This month's montage is a little bit different.
Hey, it's Shorty Knits from Chicago, Illinois. I'm one of the hosts of the geocaching podcast. Challenge completed.
This is Great Caches from Charlestown, West Virginia, and challenge is complete.
So remember,
very nice.
We carry things in our pocket.
Good.
This month's quote came in anonymously. Do not limit your challenges. Challenge your limits. We really want to thank everybody for watching, listening, supporting our podcast. Supporters for us are Patreons at Geocache Talk. So we greatly appreciate it as part of that network. But also remember, it really is not about the numbers. It's about the challenge.
Challenge accepted.
Thanks, good night, everybody. Thanks again, Matt. We'll see you all soon.
Good night.